It's Friday. You can tell it's the end of the week because of all the stubble I have. Since I only shave once a week at the end of the week, on the weekend, that is. Continuing on with Remembrance of the Cousin. I remember watching, I guess one of the nights I was spending the night over at my cousin's house. This is the this is the last house that he lived in before he died, 1991. Uh, yeah, I remember another one of the movies that we watched together. Something that was on late at night. It was a women prison movie. That was interesting. I think, was it called Caged Heat? I don't know if that's the right title for it. They were caged. I think I rewatched that many years later. Also, something I'd never seen. I'd never seen anyone do this before. Uh, I don't know if I've ever seen anyone do it since. I don't think so. So my cousin, he had these cinnamon rolls. I guess they came in like a package of like maybe 12. And these big cinnamon rolls. And he would take them and he'd put butter on it. And then he'd put it in the microwave for a little bit. So they were hot and buttery. Pretty, I guess I remember that being pretty tasty. I must have had those cinnamon rolls, but I must have had them cold, that same kind, without adding butter to it. So definitely add some flavor to those cinnamon rolls. I remember at one time during the day at my cousin's house, there was a Bon Jovi music video on. I'm pretty sure it was Bon Jovi, and there was this uh, negative reaction. I'm remembering a negative reaction that my cousin gave. I think my cousin's brother was giving this negative reaction too. So thought that was kind of funny because like I got this discouragement for liking Bon Jovi. Like, don't like this guy, don't like this music. I think there was somebody was like, was it John Bon Jovi was like in the video? Like it was like a live stage performance. Like so, like he was like swinging in, like being propelled in from the rafters or something. Well, I like Bon Jovi. I definitely like Bon Jovi's music. A lot of the stuff from uh, the '80s, a little bit from the '90s too. Yeah. Oh, I have the next thing on my comments here. I think maybe I'll start with the next video because it might take a while to talk about it, and it's more of a serious story. So I'm going on to the next thing. Uh, this other stuff might take a while to talk about too. it's not as serious. But ramen noodles, that's something I've had a lot in my life. I remember my cousin liked, well, he had this shrimp flavored ramen. I don't remember having that too much at my house, but he had it for some reason. They're all, I had a lot of gross flavored, uh, well, I feel they're gross now, but like a lot of animal product ramen. I think I had the beef one the most. I had a disgusting dream where I was eating a sandwich, but I'm pretty sure it had beef in it. Ugh. Anyway, so uh, ramen sure has a lot of sodium in it if you include that seasoning packet. But I remember like my cousin was the first one to ever teach me how to make it, which is funny. I don't remember when I guess my parents were my yeah, I guess my parents were making it for me. I don't remember having it too much before my cousin taught me how to make it though, and then I was making it on my own because it's really simple. You just boil the water and then put the noodles, the hard noodles in the water, and then they become soft. So I've had a lot of those in my life. Not anymore though. I've had some recently that were like vegan type. They didn't even come with a seasoning packet, so they were low sodium. There's still some sodium in the noodle though. I got it from Walmart, but since I don't go to Walmart anymore, I ran out of that ramen. It it was okay, but they were kind of like this type. It was like they kind of turned to mush. So I haven't been eating that anymore at all. Anyway, uh, so my cousin showed me how to make this very simple thing. Like I didn't really make too much on my own at all, like when I was younger. Like the first things that I learned how to make was ramen, uh, and like macaroni and cheese. Yeah, I made that a lot when I was younger. So I think my cousin, it was like a bargaining thing. I think it was related to video games, probably because we played a lot of video games when we first had them available to us when we got the video game, like the Nintendo, the regular Nintendo. That was the one that we played. So it was probably like a bargaining thing, like whose turn it was to play a video game. I'm just guessing. And he was like, "All right, how about if I show you how to make ramen?" And then he showed me how to make ramen. I think that's what it was. Anyway, he's the one that showed me how to make ramen. The first time I ever uh, did it on my own, it was my cousin showing me how. They had at my cousin's house. They had this one room that I guess was just it. It was a bedroom, but it was just used for like entertainment. I think they even had like a dartboard on the wall, but they had the TV, and then they had for playing video games. So they had the Nintendo Entertainment Center in this room, but they also had Miss Pac-Man table console, well, table arcade game. So the kind that you'd normally see when you go into like a arcade uh, or like maybe like a bar or restaurant that would have a game. So pretty neat, like this long table thing, and then you could play. You don't have to worry about putting quarters in. You can just play Miss Pac-Man as long as you want. So that was fun. Pretty challenging when you get further up in the levels of Miss Pac-Man. I don't know, I'm not sure what the difference between regular Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man is, other than Miss Pac-Man having the bow. I think they had a bow on their head, which is just their whole body, face. I got a list of video games that we played that I remember quite a few of them. I remember playing at his house that I really liked. All regular Nintendo games. So Mega Man 2, that one was really fun. Castlevania 2. So I'm pretty sure the first time I ever played these games was at my cousin's place. Adventure Island and Metal Gear. These are a lot of fun games to play. He had another one. I don't know if he rented it or if he owned it. It was a very strange concept for a video game because it seemed like it was kind of an adult kind of thing because you don't want kids drinking alcohol. But there's this, I'm not sure if I have the title right. There was this video game he had. I think it was called The Legend of the Drunken Warrior. Um, Later, much later, they, I think it was Jackie Chan, wasn't it? They made a movie out of it. So I don't know. I guess like this Legend of Drunken Warrior is like based on like an old I don't know which country, Chinese, maybe a Chinese folk legend that they made into a video game and then a movie. But like I think I just remember in the video game he just like was just kind of swaying around, but also fighting. So this style of fighting that appears like you're drunk. Weird. Weird that they would make that into a video game where it's kind of encouraging kids to, in a way, well, also to encouraging kids to fight and be drunk at the same time. Um, a little bit more about video games. I guess I could quick mention Bionic Commando, except that there was this one time where, so this wasn't at his house, uh, but I just remember coming home, and this is after my family had moved to Wisconsin. And I don't remember why I was not in the house in the beginning of this memory, but so I don't remember where I came from. Maybe I was like hanging out with friends, and then I come home. So I don't know where I was coming from, but I was coming home and in Wisconsin, and my cousin was already there, and I think maybe my cousin's stepbrother was there, probably there too. But they were playing the Bionic Commando. That was a that was a kind of it looked like a fun game. It was kind of almost like like in Castlevania 2 where like you have a long whip, but like in Bionic Commando, I remember like his arm was bionic, so this like chain thing would come out, or this like arm, metal arm would come out, and you'd attach to like the this roof of the or shelf, and just the commando would just swing, the bionic commando. All right, this video is long enough. I better stop.